Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efini. Great Malabite.
Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
Good morning, Rufai. Yes, let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. We just start from the window story. Federal government wades into Dangote Kogi government dispute. Adebayo writes Buhari says incident capable of eroding investors' confidence, makes mockery of ease of doing business. Minister declares. NECA, that's the Nigerian Employers Consultative Association, condemns move by state. Former NLC Vice President calls for ceasefire. Yes, it's good to know that the Minister of Trade and Industry, Ni Adebayo, has written to the President to wade into this dispute because the optics of it is not good. If Dangote can be doing business in a number of African countries peacefully without any harassment, how come we have this situation between Dangote and the state government? Whatever the differences between government, the state government, and the Dangote group, I think it's something that can be ironed out, and it's something the president has to wade into. According to the report, Ni Adebayo, the Minister of Trade and Industry, who feels that, look, this is not good for investor confidence in the country. And we hope that somewhere along the line, truth will prevail and business will go on as usual at the Obajana cement complex, as it were. Now, the major story in front page of this day, special anniversary focus, emerging business leaders from North, matching tech unicorns of the South. They are bold, audacious, and ready to take Nigeria to new frontiers. Yes, yes, beyond the names known, the Aliko Dangotes, the Rabius of the North. Of course, there are other northern players in corporate Nigeria, and they are holding their own. Of course, there is a number of names here, 24 of them, not necessarily all-inclusive, but these are the ones this day has highlighted for now. Yeah, of course, there's Dr. Lazarus Angbazo, the Managing Director of Infrastructure Corporation of Nigeria, in Fraco. Of course, that special purpose institution established by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Of course, you look at it through the names, some names are familiar by virtue of the fact that they're more or less like cheap of the old block. Of course, there is Farouk Gomel, who is the chairman of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Fund, and Ibrahim Hassan is the current chairman of Guarantee Trust Bank, who is a highly experienced petroleum geologist, economic analyst, serial entrepreneur, community leader, and philanthropist with over 27 years professional experience. I just run through a few names and we'll move on to other stories. Halima Buba who serves as Managing Director, CEO of Sun Trust Bank. She previously worked with EcoBank as Deputy General Manager. There's the Mahmoud Bamanga Tuko. Tuko, of course, the founder of Ash Group, that is into oil and gas. There is Aminu Babangida, of course, son of former military president Ibrahim Babangida, who is chairman of Unity Bank, and is an entrepreneur and co-founder, CEO of Phoenix Energy. It's Mahmoud Ahmadu. Ahmadu is the founder, chairman of OIS, also known as Online Integrated Solutions Limited. There's Hamid Joda, who is the managing director, CEO of Taj Bank Limited, Hamid Joda, of course, led a group to realize the vision of setting up the second non-interest bank in Nigeria. But there are a number of other names, but we'll just find time to look at other stories quickly. We go to the Guardian newspaper. Why over 50 million Nigerians are mentally ill by psychiatrists. About 75% of those who need mental health care lack access. Nigeria has only 300 psychiatrists to treat over 200 million people. Africa has one psychiatrist for every 500,000 inhabitants, 100 times less than the World Health Organization recommendation. Stigmatization, major challenge to accessing healthcare, says Adesokun. Jehovah's Witness mark Global Mental Health Day. World Health Organization rolled out measures to reverse suicide, mental health crisis in Africa. Of course, today is the World Mental Health Day, and psychiatrists are raising the alarm that the situation in Nigeria, over 50 million Nigerians estimated to have one form of mental illness or the other, different level stages of of that illness. But we don't have enough medical psychiatrists in the country. 75% of those who need the attention of psychiatrists cannot even access such. On a day like this, the medical authorities will do well to take a look at these numbers and provide solution. The Daily Independent newspaper, CBN Ways and Means, only way to fund 2023 budget deficit. Analysts ask federal government to tackle issues impeding budget performance. Says Nigeria's debt profile may reach 70 trillion by the end of 2023. Now, the Vanguard newspaper, 400 billion naira goods rot away over demurrage, shipping costs. Shippers blame manual inspection. Foreign shipping firms, terminal operators slam 60 billion naira charges. Importers abandon 7,000 containers as backdoor cargo releases thrive. Export cargoes perish at the terminals. We are ready to deploy scanners soon. Customs. This scanner they bought, they've not been able to deploy. Is it that they don't have people trained to operate this equipment? Nigeria still doing manual scanning. No wonder Nigerian importers prefer to go to Cotonou Lome, where things are easy, better, cheaper to bring in their goods. Not a way to run our ports. Now, let's look at political stories. The New Telegraph newspaper, 2023, APC Northern Christians, Muslims unite against same-faith candidacy. Set up committee may adopt consensus candidate. Benue chapter's crisis deepens as young Alhaji pulls out of campaign council. Tinubu, hope for better Nigeria, says Swagger. Yes. Now, the Daily Sun newspaper, 2023, Dogara Babacha Lawa Babacha, Muslim leaders adopt consensus candidate ahead of 2023. Below the photograph, APC to release amended campaign council list this week. PCC demands NWC's financial support for Tinubu. The Nation newspaper, yes, Wike Makinde autumn to shun Atiku campaign launch. You can't intimidate me. Benue governor tells Ayu. Party chair to neutral. Well, the PDP campaign, it takes off today in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital. But I will just come back to the Vanguard newspaper where we just look at two other stories. The Vanguard newspaper, Omehia, Wike displaying punitive arrogance. Tonyeko, Omehia didn't beg or force Wike for recognition. PDP chieftain. Now, oil theft. 42 more tapping points uncovered in Delta, Bayelsa. Now, this is becoming a revelation. We've always known that oil theft has been something to worry about, but the kind of pipelines illegally connected to the pipeline conveying crude, as we have seen in recent revelations, is something somebody has to answer. Where were the security agencies all this while?
I mean, for me, it's not a revelation. It's a circus show. And why I said that is this. We can't tell ourselves that those in the ecosystem didn't know about all of this going on. Because when you look at the documentaries, and kudos to Oyin Sunday, she did a fabulous job. I was watching the report. You know what is going on? All of a sudden, Shell is now saying, oh, we didn't even know that people were on that platform, that people couldn't have got up there. The security agents with Tompolo are saying otherwise, that, oh, we saw this test flow, this Afrevo test flow. When you look at it, people have been using it. They pass the wires, they pass the pump. So who did that job? Who did those tapping? Those were professional jobs. Sure. So wearing those pipelines surveillance in such a way that when they did the tappings, they didn't know that there were flows going on. So it's a circus show. The IOCs, the authorities, the security agencies, it's just a circus show. Now they are revealing themselves in public, and we're seeing all this circus continue. At first, they said it was the artisanal refinery owners. Mm-hmm. You remember how they raided those ones and they showed them to the world as if they are the problems. Now they're beginning to expose themselves. They should continue this circus show. But I call leadership to stand strong and do the needful about things like this. People that need to be prosecuted must be prosecuted.
They have to be apprehended first.
Oh, yes. And the full wrath of the law must take its course. So all the people now denying, like they didn't know all of this, they knew about it. All of a sudden, why are they digging it out now? So it's a circus show. It's very murky. But the third part is Nigeria suffers in all of this.
Everybody, since January, has made a promise we will deal with it, we will address it, because of the major loss. One, we're dealing with negligence. Two, we're dealing with sabotage, economic sabotage. We're dealing with robbery on a grand scale. And which is why I don't understand all this scaremongering that is now going on and these photo ops that we're seeing in the papers, around something that is so serious. I would have expected that instead of announcing, oh, we found a 4-kilometer pipeline, we found another pipeline passing through places of religious worship, there should have been investigation. People should have been apprehended. By now, we should be hearing that all of these persons have been arrested and that the state is going to deal with them because these are the people that are sabotaging the Nigerian economy by stealing, crude oil. That's not what we're getting. What we're getting is scaremongering about the scale of it, and also photo opportunities, and media statements that do not go anywhere. I hope a day will not come when we will wake up and we hear that the CBN, the vault of the Central Bank of Nigeria, that somebody has put a pipeline under that vault to drill out I hope we don't get to that.
All the ways are missed.
Emmanuel
Why are you trying to add another dimension?
This is Nigeria. This is Nigeria. On the Kogi State case with Dangote, there is no problem that dialogue cannot resolve.
True.
And it's good to see, that others are intervening. The federal government is coming in to say, okay, please sit at the negotiating table and resolve the differences, considering all the implications that we had identified previously about investment, about jobs, so dialogue can resolve it, obviously. So thank you very much, Emmanuel Ofeli.